Hello everyone, my name is Sean Taylor and today I'm going to talk about gun control, or rather why gun control is bad for our nation. The Second Amendment of the United States of America's Constitution states, "A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." So I ask you, should everyone's right in America to own a firearm be infringed upon based on the acts of criminals? This is a question I'm sure you have all heard many times. In our country, gun sales continue to climb. According to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, since 2005 to 2014, registered gun sales have increased by 8,144,203. If you look at the bar graph, you can see what year gun sales increased and decreased. Pay close attention to 2008 and 2012. Why did we see the largest jump in 2014? The reason being was the scare of gun control. Consumers were afraid of losing their right to purchase certain firearms. The gun control movement exploits every celebrated criminal and act that offsets hundreds of thousands of cases where guns are used in self-defense and to save lives. You, the American people, need to know the truth behind gun control. Passing stricter gun laws does not make us all any safer. In a study conducted at Harvard, they found that the more guns a nation has, the less crime there seems to be. Let's take a look at the European gun ownership and murder rates. As you can see, in most instances, more guns in the country, the decrease in the criminal activity. Our founding fathers knew that an armed population would be necessary to the security of a free state to prevent our great nation from falling back into a state of tyranny. The concept of a citizen soldier is one of the most central pieces of our nation's creation. The anti-gun enthusiasts would argue that the National Guard is our militia. Therefore, we would not need armed citizens. The National Guard is not the militia our founding fathers had envisioned, and it is an extension of the federal government. It can be activated to fight wars while simultaneously supporting America during national disasters. The Military Act of 1903 defined the National Guard as the organized militia, and all other citizens were the unorganized militia. Therefore, the National Guard is only part of the militia, and the entire militia is made up of the whole population. The militiamen of colonial times owned their weapons. They fought with them, they returned home with them. Therefore, it only makes sense for modern militiamen to keep and bear the arms of their militia. Just keep in mind that it is the right and responsibility of every American citizen to defend our country from enemies, foreign and domestic. So advocates of gun rights might make the argument that media, not guns themselves, could be to blame for excessive gun violence by glamorizing or making celebrities of gun-related criminals. Remember the Aurora movie theater shooting? And next was the Sandy Hook elementary school shooting. And then the community college in Texas. Had these stories not been overly reported and the killers' faces plastered on every newspaper, maybe there would be less copycats. Denver University law professor Dave Kopel states in a 2012 USA Today column how the media covers one event affects another, whether there will be similar events. This is why TV broadcasts of baseball games turn the cameras away from the morons who run out on the field seeking attention. He goes on to say that after the Columbine high school murders in 1999, the media were particularly irresponsible, as when Times and Newsweek magazines put pictures of the killers on the front cover. In 2007, the Virginia Tech murderer sent NBC a videotape of himself. Rather than showing the video on national television, NBC should have made a copy for law enforcement and refused to broadcast the killer's self-promotional video on television. Now let's educate you a little bit on the different types of firearms. Firearms are classified into three different types: handguns, rifles, and shotguns. However, rifles and shotguns are both considered long guns. Let's examine each of these in detail. First is the infamous handgun. Today, handguns are made to be a compact weapon for self-defense. However, they are also used for target shooting, competition shooting, and even hunting. This becomes a part of the legal definition of a handgun because they can be concealed. Each state has its own concealed carry laws, and when followed, everyone remains safe. Next up is going to be rifles. Rifles are different than handguns, and due to the length of the barrel and having a buttstock. A buttstock is used to put against the shoulder for support and aiming of the rifle. Rifles are much more accurate and can be made in single shot, but most common are bolt action. The rifle's primary use is hunting. Semi-automatic rifles have detachable magazines and can hold up to 50 rounds. These type of rifles are typically used for competition shooting or home defense. Next is shotguns. Shotguns are very similar to rifles. Shotguns have long barrel and a buttstock. There are several types of shotguns. There are single shot break action shotguns, only hold one round, while the semi-automatic shotguns can hold up to 7 to 10 rounds. The shotgun is typically used for hunting and may be used for home defense. With proper training and knowledge of the laws, firearms or guns are just tools. They do not become dangerous until someone who is untrained or wants to cause harm gets a hold of them. It's like driving a car. We are trained at school on how to drive a motor vehicle. We then get a permit or a license to drive a motor vehicle. If misused or untrained individual gets behind the wheel, lives can be lost. The same goes for owning a firearm. According to New York Times, in 2009, there were 42,624 motor vehicle deaths, while there were only 28,874 gun deaths. The study does not elaborate if these were criminal or crime-associated deaths using firearms, or if they were counting accidental deaths or self-defense deaths. So with what you know about firearms, you may be for or against gun control. The things you see in the media do not always tell the entire story. There are many uses for firearms, and not all towards ill will. I, however, hope you have learned from this presentation and see the importance of guns and how gun control only works on the law-abiding citizens. Thank you.